What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, Bulls and Nation across the world, the draft prospects continue and it looks like you guys really want a center. I feel like every recommendation I've seen up to this point has been one forward and the rest of them have been centers. So clearly you guys have a specific interest here. But look, I am trying to go based on your recommendations, of course, but I'd like to see some diversity. So in this video, if you are watching this video interested in this individual, I also want you guys to leave other recommendations for forwards, even guards. As much as I don't necessarily think many of you guys want guards, I do want to see the best talent available. So as much as it is fun talking about 3 centers in a row in these last 3 videos, I would also like to talk about more positions as well. It's not just the center position that we're lacking depth in. But anyway, enough about that. I'm going to mispronounce this name very much so, but his name is Yves Missi. I think that's how you say his name. I could potentially be wrong. I'm going to just say Missy from here on out because I feel like that is the only thing that would probably be correct from that name. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below if the Baylor man himself in Missy can be the next Chicago Bulls player in this upcoming NBA draft. So what do we need to know about him? Well, of course, he's a center. He's 7 foot tall, he's 235 pounds, and he is 19 years of age. So we've seen a lot of centers now rate, I guess, in different age brackets. We got, I think Zach Edey was 22, Filipowski was 19, I think one of them was 20, Klingon I think might have been 20, and now we've got someone that is also 19 years of age as well. His stats don't necessarily look that impressive in all honesty, but again, this is college basketball. Things can translate a lot differently at the NBA level, and especially depending on the teammates that you have. But his averages around 10.7 points per game, 0.4 assists per game, 5.6 rebounds per game, shooting 61.4% from the field and 0% from the three-point line, as he is not a three-point shooter. So ultimately, you're getting another big man that is probably more on the traditional side compared to the modern side. Don't necessarily see a whole lot of modernization in his game. I definitely see an old school center when I'm looking at his highlights and I'm looking at his stats and I'm looking at what he does well and I'm looking at what he doesn't do well. So ultimately, a lot of things there that we need to discuss. So for some people, that's what you're looking for. Just a traditional center that can get out in transition, block some shots, get some rebounds, and everything in between. Other people are looking for more in their center position. Someone that can spread the floor. Someone that does have diversity in the offensive game. Someone that might have more two-way potential than a one-sided player in many ways. So there's a lot there to decipher. But what are his strengths? So as I mentioned, a traditional big man, I consider that a strength because I consider both of them strengths. I consider a traditional big man a strength. I consider a modern NBA center a strength. I don't believe in any shape or form that traditional big men are, not good for the league. I think there are certain big men that are good for the league. And yes, it's going to take time, and I do think in the end you're going to have to diversify your game. But for players coming off the bench, for players trying to bring in some effort, guys like Zubac, for example, is a traditional big man. He's starting for the Los Angeles Clippers every season, and he's a well-respected player in that system. Traditional big man can still be a positive for a team. It's just up to the type of team that you're running and what your team really needs from that position. So I do consider that a positive. He's very athletic. Look, watch the highlights. I think he's probably the most athletic center we've talked about thus far. He can catch alley-oops like no tomorrow. When he gets in the position, he's looking to slam it down. He's a guy that could probably get a few posters in there. And he could probably get a couple of shot blocking opportunities as well based on that athleticism. He's a rather quick center. He's an athletic center. That's obviously a big positive as well. And speaking of, he does have shot blocking potential. He averages, I believe, around 1.5 blocks per game. So not the best that we have seen. I don't think it's the worst we have seen either, but again, if that can translate to the NBA level with that athleticism, you can hope that there is at least some shot blocking potential in this individual. But looking at some weaknesses, and this might be the first time, I'm being honest here, when I search for weaknesses and I find more weaknesses than strengths with a player. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but that is something that I instantly saw as a red flag. When you go and look to strengths and weaknesses of a player, you want to see more strengths than weaknesses. You don't want to see a player that has a lot of issues with his game, even if he is good in certain aspects. So here are the weaknesses I saw. Limited offensively. Look, again, he doesn't shoot the three ball. I don't know what his draft combine numbers are, but he shot 0% from the three-point line in college. He doesn't really have a mid-range game. He doesn't really have a post game or anything like that. He's definitely a player that's going to need his teammates around him to get him the buckets. Otherwise, he'll be a liability on the offensive end. So he's very limited offensively, and I don't see much potential in that aspect. I don't like his rebounding numbers for a 7-foot player. Now, as athletic as he is, 7 foot tall as well, 235 pounds, again, that can improve over time, so I'm not necessarily worried about the weight at the moment. But one thing I am very worried about is that he averages around 5 to 6 rebounds per game as a 7-footer playing 23 minutes a game. Again, almost every center, even the centers that I'm worried about who average more rebounds, have more rebounds. It's as simple as that. So he's not a great rebounder from my point of view, at least. Those numbers need to dramatically increase. If you're going to give him a starting role, for example, look, in many ways it is a luxury to have Drummond and Vucevic there, both getting 10 rebounds per game. But you don't want your center getting 5, averaging 5 as well. Maybe some games you could get away with it. Having a center that averages 5 rebounds a game is not something I'm interested in at this point in time. We're a very small team anyway. Getting a center that doesn't rebound the ball that well, to me, is a big red flag. He struggles in the pick and rolls, apparently, and he gets into foul trouble a lot because of it. This is obviously a big issue with our entire team. So you're going to be adding on to the pile if you pick Missi in the NBA draft. Someone that does get into foul trouble, someone that does struggle in the pick and roll. Apparently, I haven't really scouted this one specifically, but assuming how athletic he is, I think that could be an achievable thing that he can grow out of. Quick, fast, strong NBA centers. It could just be a learning issue more than an actual, he just simply can't do it. When I look at Vucevic, for example, I see someone that's a very intelligent basketball player, but doesn't have the athleticism to actually do the defensive work that we need him to do. That's just an example. I don't necessarily see that with Missi. I think he can learn the defensive side of the game, and his athleticism will actually help him in that regard. But still, struggles in the pick and roll, gets into foul trouble a lot, and for someone that is going to be probably playing for the Bulls if he does get selected, he's not a very good free throw shooter either. So, again, very similar to Klingon as well. This individual is not a very good free throw shooter. He shoots around 61% from the free throw line, which isn't terrible. Drummond shoots worse in most seasons at least. I think Klingon actually only shot 58% from the free throw line. So it's not the worst thing you ever see, but it's not great either. And he's not a great passer. He averages 0.4 assists. The ball is not going to be in his hands that often, it would be like. So you're basically getting this player just to bring some athleticism into the team. Now, with that being said, would I, as a Chicago Bulls, let's just say I'm the GM of the Bulls, would I select this individual as the 11th overall pick? Well, look, he's projected to actually go further in the mock drafts I've seen compared to Kyle Filipowski. But to be honest, I'd rather Kyle on my team. I would not select this player with the 11th overall pick. Reason being, it's not that I don't think he's talented. Again, you have to be talented to be selected in the NBA draft. I think we have someone that could do his job already on this team. And his name is Adama Sanogo. I would rather have Adama Sanogo get a main contract if that's the type of center that we're looking for. Someone that can grab rebounds, maybe get some stops and, can keep up on defense and be very athletic. I think Adama Sanogo could do that job better, in my opinion, at this point in time. We have the center there that we could use. I don't want to waste that spot. You get a guy like Zach Edey, for example, there's potential for multiple things. You get a guy like Kyle, you're getting someone that could replace Nikola Vucevic. You're getting someone like Donovan Klingon, you're getting a massive defensive potential that we don't have on the team yet. I feel like Adama Sanogo can do the role that, at least from what I've seen from Missi at this point in time. And maybe can do a bit better as well. That's my personal opinion. Can I be right? Sure. Can I be wrong? Maybe. But that's my honest opinion, and that's all I could really give. Now, I'm going to hope that the next video I make will not be on a center. If it is, then we'll continue the role, ladies and gentlemen. But with that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.